Welcome back. Today is Monday, November 30th, 2020. Here is your warm-up for the day. So at this time, pause the video and complete the following problem. Hello, Hill scholars will be able to represent linear relationships using verbal descriptions, tables, graphs, and equations that simplify to the form y equal mx plus b. Today's DOL, Hill scholars will complete their IXL assignment with a 90% accuracy. Graphing y equal mx plus b. Now today I'm just going to give you a brief presentation into parts of the formula y equal mx plus b. We will be reviewing m, which is your slope, and b, which is the y-intercept. Okay, so the objective for today is find the slope of a line given coordinates of 2 points on the line. Graph the equations that are written in the form of y equal mx plus b. And again, we are going to just briefly touch over the formula. We will be covering it in detail throughout the week. What is slope? Well, we have positive slope, which is going straight up in the steepness, going straight up, or we have negative slope going down. Slope is represented as a change in y divided by a change in x. It's also the amount of slant. It can also be represented as the rise overrun, and our formula is y equal mx plus b. What does the line look like when you have a positive slope? When you have a positive slope from left to right, the line will be going up. When you have a negative slope from left to right, the line will be going down. When you have a zero slope, there's zero steepness, then the line is straight across. When you have no slope, it is called undefined, and the line is straight up perpendicular to your x-axis. Concept. Definition of slope. The tilt or inclination of a line. The ratio of vertical change to horizontal change. The change in y over the change in x. Okay, I do not need you to write this down, just watch and follow along. Okay, there's too much to write down. Consider the graph y is equal x minus 2. Well, let's look at y equal x minus 2. We know that this is y x minus 2. Now compare that graph to y is equal half x minus 2. Do you notice the difference? The first one, which was y is equal x minus 2, had a little bit of stiffness to it. When we divided that by half, the stiffness was also divided by half, reduced by half. Notice with that, the smaller the slope, the line becomes flatter. Now compare the graph of y equal 2x minus 2. Notice that with the larger slope, the line becomes steeper. Okay? Remember that because that could be helpful in some of your responses. Here let's look at another one. Consider the graph y is equal x minus 2. When x is positive, the graph goes uphill from left to right. Now compare the graph of y equal negative x minus 2. If it's negative x minus 2, that means the line is going to be going downward from left to right. Okay, positive, negative slope, and no slope, and oh no, down he goes. Okay, so let's take a look at slope on a graph, okay? The first thing we got to do is find 2 points on the line that cross at an intersection, okay? So here's one point and there's the other point. Then we find the rise and the run of those 2 points. So let's first start off with the rise. Well, we know we go up, actually down 1, 2, and then we go over 1, 2, 3 to connect the dots. So we got to make sure that we create a right triangle connecting the dots. So we notice that the rise from left to right was coming down 2, so therefore it's a -2. Then we've moved over 3. Third step is to determine whether the line is positive or negative. Again, we said that if it's going from left to right up, it's positive. From left to right going down, it's negative. So we know that this one's going to be a negative slope. So we have slope is equal rise over run. A rise was a -2 and a run was 3. So it's going to be a -2/3. Let's look at a different one. Again, we start out by picking 2 points on the line that intersect. I'm going to select that one right there and this one down at the bottom. Now I have to create a right triangle connecting both of them, and I have to measure my rise and run. Well, let's look at it. How many we have going up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a total of 10. So the rise is 10 and the run is 2. So therefore, I can know that my rise is 10 and my run is 2. And I'll put that rise over run, and it's 10 over 2. And 10 over 2 simplifies to 5. But again, what we got to determine, which is step 3, whether it's a positive or a negative. Well, we know that from left to right, the line is going up. Therefore, it is a positive slope. Okay. So let's review slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form of a linear equation is written in the form of y equal mx plus b. Now, remember that m represents slope and b, it will be your y-intercept. Okay? A linear equation which is solved for y is in slope-intercept form. Okay, let's look at this one real quick. Find the slope and the y-intercept of the following linear equations. Take a few seconds to find the slope and the y-intercept of the following equation. Send the response through chat, please. Okay, well, m is 3 and our y-intercept, which is b, is 4. Let's try another one. M is -2 and b is -1. And again, is that a positive or a negative slope? Number 3, let's try number 3. Again, this one they give us a different one. They added some more fractions. Take a minute to solve for m and b. M is -2 over 9 and b is -4. Okay, oh, I went too far. Okay, the last one, which is y equal 5x, it seems to be like that's the entire equation. So what would m be? Again, you have probably already seen it. M could be 5, but what about b? Again, yes, b is 0. Graphing using slope and y-intercept. Make sure the equation is in slope-intercept form, which means y equal mx plus b. Find the slope and the y-intercept. Plot the y-intercept first. Okay, so let's look at this graph. This actually it's an equation in the form of y-intercept, and we're going to graph it on a grid. Okay, so then we know that our slope is -1/3 and our y-intercept is 2. Okay, so we start at 2 and we put a dot on 2, which is right here. And from there, we know that our run is 1. Our rise is 1 and our run is -3. So it means we're going to be going up 1 and then to the left, to the right, actually -3. Okay, repeat it again for a new point. Let's see, here we go, and then we draw a line through it. Okay, so you can't see this because my picture was not quite as well as I wanted it to be, but we started by putting a point right here on 2, and then the rise was 1. We went up 1, and then instead of going to the right, we went -3, which give us this point over here. Last thing we did is we connected those 2 points. Okay. Again, remember, we are going to get a little more practice, so don't worry so much about whether you get it right now or not. Just continue to follow along, write some notes as we go. We will be touching on this more throughout the week, and you will have plenty of opportunities to practice it a little more. Let's look at another graph. This one is y is equal 3/4 x minus 2. So what's the first thing we do is we find -2. Again, my graph is not quite the way I want it to, but the first thing you gotta plot is -2. Then you go run 4, which they did right here, run 4 and up 3. Okay, and since it's a positive slope, we do know that it is going to go up from left to right. Okay, once we have figured out 2 points, we connect those 2 points, and that will give us the stiffness of that line or the slope. Okay, our DOL for today, IXL, complete V1 and V5, and you have to complete it with a 90% accuracy. Okay, thank you and have a wonderful day.